August the 21st of 2015, 2 years, my school will open. The Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG Re-Africanization Academy. We're going to have an Aviation Academy. We're going to teach your sons and your daughters how to fly airplanes.
13 years, an amount he has never fully accounted for. And the question nobody has fully answered yet is a simple one. What exactly did the community pay for? Not what date he said it would open or what excuses came after. What was the actual vision he was selling when he asked for the money?
I wish I knew, Robin. I wish I knew.
Before we get into it, real quick, for the people in the comments telling me to stop making videos about Umar, you clicked. You are here right now, which means either you want the answer or you genuinely cannot help yourself. Either way, I appreciate you. And to answer your question, the day he stops all this foolishness is the day I stop. Until then, we work.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Now, let us find out what they actually paid for. Before we get into the list, I need you to understand something, because if you go into this thinking he was just trying to build a school and kept falling short, you are going to miss the whole point. The BS went further than that. He was not selling a school. He was selling a civilization. Those aren't the same thing. A school has classrooms and teachers and children. A civilization has its own economy, its own government, its own airport, its own river. And hold that word, civilization, because every single item we are about to go through was announced publicly, in his own words, on his own platforms, to his own supporters. This was not a rumor or speculation. This was the pitch. Feel the full weight of that word before we get to the list, because the list only lands the way it should if you understand what he told people they were buying into. This was not a school fundraiser. This was a civilization fundraiser, and the community paid for it line item by line item for 13 years. Yet, I'm the one getting bombarded for just talking about it. Make it make sense. All right, here's the list, and I'm going to read it straight. No commentary between items, because the items speak for themselves. On March 26, 2014, Dr. Umar Johnson posted the full vision for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy on his Facebook page. His own post, public record, a hospital, a health center, a zoo, a farm, a greenhouse, a community center, athletic facilities, a baseball stadium, a track and field facility, an engineering and architectural building, a political government building, a military building, a music and theater production studio, dormitories, 7 of them, massive ones, an elementary school and a high school, both residential, a girls' academy, the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Academy, a Pan-African school district, everywhere black people are, and then an aviation academy. Huh? His exact words from the World Beat Center in 2013, "We will have an aviation academy. We will teach your sons and your daughters how to fly airplanes."
August the 21st of 2015, 2 years, my school will open. The Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG Re-Africanization Academy. We're going to have an Aviation Academy. We're going to teach your sons and your daughters how to fly airplanes.
Hey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
A farm with black pigs, a helicopter landing pad, an airstrip for the airplanes, an air traffic control tower, 2 aircraft bays, an airport runway, and a man-made river shaped like Africa, surrounding the entire 500-acre campus. And that is before we get to the city, because once the school was up and running, he said the parents and teachers would build houses on the land, and once they were all living there, they would need a gas station, a supermarket, a daycare, a fire department, and a police department. His exact words, which means at some point, we would have to incorporate into our own city, a city with its own government, funded by the same PayPal link he has been running since 2013.
They sold 300 acres of the farmland without me even knowing. And I wanted to use that so we can manufacture a Black Wall Street situation. Because the way I saw it, all the parents of the children would build houses there. All the teachers would build houses there. And if you got all of y'all, let's say y'all the staff and parents of the school, y'all all living on this 500 acres that we developed, We're going to need a gas station that's a business for somebody. We're going to need a supermarket that's a business for somebody. We're going to need a daycare. We're going to need a cleaners.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Sooner or later, we're going to need a fire department and we're going to need a police department, which means at some point we would have to do what? Incorporate into our own city.
Come on, none of it's true. None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lie.
Now let us talk about the dates. Because this is a separate indictment from the promise list. The promise list is about what he said he would build. This is about how many times he said it would be ready. Brother Lennon Honor, shout out to him, has been documenting Umar Johnson's timeline for years. Every date change, every recording, every broken promise. His work is meticulous, and his receipts are primary source. What he built confirms exactly what I've been saying. The receipts were always there. Here is what Lennon Honor documented. September 11th, 2013, August 21st, 2015, then September 2016, then May 2018, August 21st, 2018, August 21st, 2019, August 2020, then summer 2021, fall 2021, fall 2022, September 2022, fall 2023, then February 2023, December 2023, January 2024, February 2024, August 2025, then February 2025, then September 2025, and then, most recently, September 2026.
You're showing me how unserious you are.
At least 25 documented date changes across 13 years. Now here's the part that matters. Every single time the date changed, a new donation push followed. Every extension of the timeline was an extension of the fundraising window. The date was never the point. The PayPal link was always the point. And if you think that is a coincidence, the pattern has been consistent since the very first date change in 2013. Change the date, push the PayPal. Change the date, push the PayPal. 25 times. That is not a pattern of delays. That is a business model. Now let us talk about the money, because this is where the promise list and the opening date graveyard converge into one question. In 2017, Dr. Umar Johnson sat down with Roland Martin, and Roland Martin asked him directly, how much money has been raised? His exact answer, $700,000. And the status is, we are still looking for a school. $700,000 raised, still looking for a school in 2017. That is the confirmed number from his own mouth in a documented interview.
You talked about taking over the buildings or the land of a black school that was shut down.
Yes, sir.
HBCU
St. Paul's
campus.
College.
And you were raising money for it. First of all, how much money has been raised, and what's the status of that project?
Well, St. Paul's has been sold. Approximately 3 to 5 months ago, I was told by the auction company in charge of the sale that it was been sold to a developer.
So how much money was raised? What the people gave? All kinds of people gave. How much was raised, and what's the status of that?
$700,000, and the status is we're still looking for a school, and the status is my start date for FDMG will be 8/21/18, or if at all, it may be delayed to 8/21/19.
God have mercy upon us.
That is not the full picture. Lennon Honor spent years cross-referencing IRS filings, Cash App records, PayPal donation periods, and Umar Johnson's own public statements about how much he was raising per year. His documented estimate puts the total raised at bare minimum $2 million across the full fundraising period. That is Lennon Honor's estimate based on the available documentation. Not a confirmed figure, but a documented one. Now hold both of those numbers against what exists. In August of 2025, the FDMG building in Wilmington faced a sheriff sale because of unpaid vacant property registration fees and outstanding utility bills. The city posted the notice directly on the building. He found out when someone sent him a photo. A building with no students, no certificate of occupancy, No accredited school program could not pay its own bills. And his response was to run an emergency donation drive to stop the auction. The same PayPal link that has been running since 2013 was the only thing standing between the chosen ones and a sheriff's gavel. Do you understand, my African brothers and sisters? Do you understand, my African brothers and sisters? $700,000 confirmed, $2 million estimated, and the building almost went to auction for an unpaid utility bill. The question of where the money went is one this video is not going to answer, but it is the only question left standing after you hear those numbers together. And the Delaware building was not even the full picture, because while he was asking for money to renovate a building in Wilmington that could not pay its own utility bills, he also announced that he had been given 50 acres of land in Ghana. His exact words in a documented interview: "I was given 50 acres of land in Ghana. I want to build an FDMG on the continent. I want to replicate what we are doing in Wilmington, Delaware, in West Africa. So I want to build an FDMG on the continent, an FDMG here in Delaware. And then we can have an exchange program and the children can go back and forth."
Was given 50 acres of land in Ghana, and I want to replicate what we're doing in Wilmington, Delaware in West Africa. So I want to build an FDMG on the continent, an FDMG here, which is Delaware, and then we can have an exchange program and the children can go back and forth. So can the teachers do that? So everything I'm doing in America, I want to also do in Africa, because it's Pan-Africanist. We don't believe that you ignore your domestic struggle. I still have an obligation to my people here, but I also see the larger struggle, and that is doing what we need to do for ourselves permanently on the continent, because anything you build here, they can take it. Once FDMG is up and running, I'm going to automatically have to start thinking about how long before I need to repatriate to the continent, because if my school does what it is born to do, and it will, I'm going to be too much of a threat. Just like with Black Wall Street, you got to know how long you got on your lease before you get the hell out of Dodge.
The Delaware building does not have a certificate of occupancy. The Ghana campus does not exist. The exchange program was never mentioned again after that interview, but the PayPal link kept running. See, this is what makes the Ghana promise different from everything else on the list. The 500-acre campus and the airport runway and the man-made river shaped like Africa were all announced together in 2014 as a long-term vision. You could argue those were aspirational, a reach goal, something he planned to build toward over decades. The Ghana campus was announced after the Delaware building was already purchased, after the fundraising was already running, after the community had already been giving for years. He did not just promise a civilization on one continent, he promised one on two, and the PayPal link worked in both countries. All right, let us do the audit. 2 lists, side by side. What he promised: a hospital, a health center, a zoo, a farm with black pigs, a greenhouse, a community center, an aviation academy where boys learn to fly airplanes, a helicopter landing pad, an airstrip, an air traffic control tower, 2 aircraft bays, airport runway, a man-made river shaped like Africa surrounding a 500-acre campus, a girls' academy, a Pan-African school district everywhere black people are, a city with its own gas station, supermarket, fire department, and police department, a second campus on 50 acres in Ghana, an exchange program between Delaware and West Africa, a diploma for every graduate. Now, what exists? Clean desks and 2 whiteboards. At least that's all he showed on his recent IG Live. By the way, y'all should follow me on IG at RealPThePanda. But yeah, that is the audit. That is the full picture. And I'm not gonna tell you what it means. You are already standing in the only place those 2 lists lead. Before we go any further, I want to say something directly to the people who donated, because they were not foolish. They were targeted. There is a difference between being fooled and being targeted. Being fooled means you missed something obvious. Being targeted means someone deliberately used the thing you love most as the mechanism to take from you. The language he used was not accidental. Black boys, chosen ones, liberation, civilization, independent black institution. Every word in that pitch was chosen because it made skepticism feel like racial betrayal. Because if you question the receipts, you were questioning the movement. If you asked where the money went, you were working for the enemy. If you demanded accountability, you were a struggle streamer, a YouTubian, a coon. That is not a fundraising strategy. That is a trap, built from the language of Black liberation and designed to make the door impossible to find from the inside. The people who gave were not gullible. They were given a pitch that was specifically engineered to make doubt feel like betrayal. And that engineering did not happen by accident. He knew exactly what he was doing. Now, the people attacking those exposing him, like me, and the ones that keep donating.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
And after all of that engineering, the money is still unaccounted for. The question that nobody has fully answered, the one I'm not gonna answer either, is where did the money go?
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you that. Like,
over $700,000 confirmed from his own mouth. At least $2 million estimated from documented research. No zoo.
I've never seen it.
No hospital.
I've never seen it.
No airport.
I've never seen it.
No river.
I've never seen it.
No Ghana campus.
I've never seen it.
No accredited diploma.
I've never seen it.
No students.
I've never seen it.
No certificate of occupancy.
I've never seen it.
No itemized financial accounting.
I've never seen it.
No audited statements.
So that was a lie.
The money was raised. He confirmed that himself. Where it went is the question the community deserves an answer to, and nobody has given them one. Stop for a second, because I want to go back to the word we started with, civilization. That word did not slip out. He did not say it once in an excited moment and walk it back. He built an entire fundraising architecture around it. The 500-acre campus, the airport, the river, the city with its own government, the Ghana campus, the exchange program, the girls' academy, the school district, everywhere Black people are. When you sell someone a civilization, you are asking them to believe in something so large and so complex that no single person can fully picture it. And when something cannot be fully pictured, it cannot be fully audited. The scope becomes the shield. That is not ambition. That is architecture. He did not dream too big. He sold too big. 13 years, at least 25 date changes, an amount that has never been fully accounted for, and a civilization that exists nowhere except in the receipts he created with his own mouth. Black boys, chosen ones, civilization, liberation, independent Black institution. That language was chosen because it made the people who gave feel like they were not just donating to a school. They were investing in the survival of their community. And when you are investing in the survival of your community, asking for receipts does not feel like due diligence. It feels like doubt, and doubt feels like betrayal. That is the mechanism. That is how 13 years happened. That is how the PayPal link kept running while the building sat empty and the dates kept changing and the civilization stayed exactly where it started, in the pitch. The wild part is the receipts were never hidden. The 500-acre campus was on his Facebook page. The Aviation Academy was announced at a public event. The opening dates were posted publicly each time they changed. The Roland Martin interview is on YouTube. The podcast admission is on record. The sheriff's sale notice was posted on the building itself. Everything we covered today came from his own mouth, his own posts, his own platforms, his own supporters in the room when he said it. So the question I want to leave you with is not about Umar Johnson. It is about the next one, because there will be a next one for sure. There is always a next one. Someone with the right language and the right vision and the right PayPal link who understands that the bigger the dream, the harder it is to audit. What does the community decide to require before the first dollar moves? Let me know your answer in the comments. Waiting for the Umar stands too. And if you missed this last video, you should watch it. Click now and I will see you on the next one. Panda out.